All right, guys, we're back. Map number 2. What a crazy first map, a T-sided cache where an incredible amount of rounds, 11-4, I think, both sides, and then overtime territory. But eventually it was Pyre able to close things out. Melty now on their map choice, starting on the T side. This is going to be interesting as they've done the standard kind of strategy where you see, well, standard in top-tier CS right now, where 2 players buy armor, and they're gifted Tech 9. So the Terminator, Meteo, both utilizing those as they're rushing into the B-bomb site.
Yeah, and Terminator was the one who started us off last match with some big frags. Mateo gets the first one with that Tech 9. Terminator quickly coming in to the kitchen, and man, what a opening strategy by Melty. So simple, so effective. And if Pyre doesn't stuff them early in the tunnels, this is what happens. If you let all the terrorists get into the bomb site before dwindling their numbers down a bit, you're just going to get enveloped all over. And that's precisely what happened. And if you do that unselfish play of giving your teammate a Tech 9, you could still afford a smoke or a nade. And then they threw a nade or a smoke for the kitchen, which allowed Terminator just to come through and wreck house of everybody there. So Melty off to another pistol round win. And once again, this is the Frenchman's map choice. And Pyre, man, that came down to the very, very end of the last match. If you missed the last map and you're just joining us, I feel bad for you because it was crazy. And yeah, no, I wrote Melty off a long time ago. I thought this was going to be a stomping, a 2-0. But Melty showing me they came to play. And there's a reason they came second in main. So now Pyre going with double scout. Got armor and pistols on the rest. They got a scout. He was at mid, and then he fell off. He's got to get back to middle and do some damage to Melty before they execute on the bomb site. Otherwise, I think Melty's just going to run away with this, and they bought 5 rifles. Melty's not messing around right now.
Yeah, they definitely aren't, as Rakonen finds a frag, but firing back is Meteo. So 4v4 here, as they haven't really taken towards any bomb site. They've got one player lurking back. Oh, Melty. They're going to have Maiden drop JM as now a man advantage for them, and they still haven't rotated towards the bomb site with 40 seconds left. They've got the Terminator inside a house right now, so maybe just waiting for him to get there, and then they'll take up connector and have a couple different angles for this bomb site, and that looks to be the strategy. Maiden leading up connector, but Waterfalls actually peeks out, spots out the Terminator, but not confident in his long-range pistol, decides not to take a shot until late, and it's actually the Terminator to completely clear the site. So the force buy doesn't work out at all for the CT side. Spiker might be able to clear out a weapon or two, and that would be great for them as, again, they spent so much money in the round. It would be unfortunate for them to not get a little bit more out of it. But he's checking around in connector. He might actually find a weapon here as he drops and finds himself a Galil. That's handy that it's just waiting for him in connector, and he'll be able to survive with that as long as he doesn't get pinched in by Maidens on the flank here from T-spawn. And oh, he does get spotted out and will be taken away. So, no armor or Galil for Spiker. And Melty with another round on the board. T-side, obviously, if you can build up this economy in the first 3 rounds and bring it into the 4th round where it is a rifle round, but you're able to buy up in the next. That's the scary thing for the CT side, as they got to go through 2 rifle rounds once they hit that.
Yeah, that's the bad thing about it, and we don't see Waterfalls saving enough to get an AWP when he really wants it the 3rd round. And I believe Misu will definitely have one unless nobody dies here. And Melty just bullying their way out of A. Unless Pyre throws any sort of nade stack or something, Melty's going to walk away with that one. Pyre can't afford to buy anything, can't afford to put up any fight against the raw power of 5 rifles coming out of ramp. And I think it's kind of unfortunate that one of the members of Melty hasn't died, because Pyre is not going to have an AWP to assist this middle. And the way Mistu was playing the last map with that AWP, he was playing lights out. He was shutting everybody down. Waterfalls didn't win a lot of those duels later on, so I would have liked to see Mistu get an op out as soon as possible, but not dying. It's got to be just as good, if not better.
Exactly, as let's see if they provide some mid presence. Yeah, it's going to be Mistu finding his way out mid first. Lambert with him as well. They've smoked off Catwalk, so they can make it all the way over to these mid boxes where Mistu is currently holding from. 2 players in underpass coming up, and the bomb in top mid. Terminator holding at A ramp, and I think they might try some sort of boost into window here, as they've actually smoked it off, so that's going to prevent Waterfalls from getting anything done. JM trying to find a cute crack in the smoke, and he actually does drop Mistu, but traded upon Maiden, not letting him get away with that one. So 1-for-1 trade back and forth. Top of connector smoked off. Will prevent the T's from taking in, but the Terminator slowly walked in through A ramp. He hasn't been spotted quite yet. He might be able to... Oh yeah, he takes down one. Can he get a second? Almost finds face crack, but won't be able to finish off that frag. Waterfalls. Oh, they line up for him at the top of connector, and that's going to be the round here as Waterfall come in with a huge 3K to finish things off. Good first rifle round comes in, but this is the situation that Melty has found themselves in that they were able to get through those rounds so flawlessly that they've got plenty of money, and they might even be able to get that hop on me Stu now.
And it's going to be Lambert.
Who
whips out the AWP.
What a guy. What a guy.
Man, he wasn't doing it last map with that gun. Exactly. He had a couple frags, but Mistu was the real star with that gun. But, you know, comfort zones on certain maps are different for players, whatever weapon they like more. And Melty here, interesting A take because they don't have a lot of players set up to throw smokes. Usually you see 2 or 3, at least 3 players at the bottom of A ramp to set up the smokes, but seemingly comfortable without all the normal smokes we see. So here comes the split coming out of upper as well as lower. Mateo with the big frags and a stop onto Rakonen. Piter can't find anybody, and all Melty did was smoke up the right side, so they isolated CT spawn. Face crack is still there. Oh, gets taken down without much to say, and now Melty with 3 up. Pretty wounded, so this is definitely doable by Piter. But what? They're falling back? They had the bomb site and they're falling back? This is interesting because now Piter has to make a decision. They're going to split Piter up. They got to play 1-1 now, and I think they knew that both Piter members were going to rotate, and the fact that they're so low, why not make it a 3 versus 1? This is really high-level stuff from Melty.
Finally, JM's going to queue into the rotate, but Spiker just hanging out in CT spawn, so exactly what they were hoping for. And they spot him out in market as well. Mistu already read that, already saw that JM has made it into market. Spiker's going to be trying to flash over. I've never actually seen that flash from CT spawn. I think it gave Mistu a tiny bit of a white screen, but they're going to be rotating or both retaking from the same specific location, so this makes it very difficult as... The one benefit for them is they don't have a T-side player watching the window, so they actually make it out of those choke points, and Medio goes down. Terminator follows up. It's all up to Mistu, and he's going to miss that first shot. Second as well, and Hyder's able to retake, so I would have liked to see maybe a little bit pushed up on market, just having them in that choke point. As soon as they get through market window and onto the bomb site, it really is difficult to keep track of them, so maybe a different post-plant position, but at the same time, Melty was fairly low on at least one of their players, so had to play it a little bit cheeky and clearly didn't go their way. But they still do good economic damage done to the CTs, and they get a bomb plan out of it. You can see they're forcing up in this round just to keep things, keep the economy of Piter in check.
Yeah, Melty there. I think the problem is different decisions on how to hold that retake. Either everybody aggresses, or everybody peeks, or nobody peeks. Pick one. You can't do half and half, and that's what happens if you do. Here comes Melty out the ramp. Piter, once again, their A-hold wasn't that good last time. Wow, look at the different amount of smokes by Melty, though. Definitely showing that they have multiple ways to take A, and they do get the bomb down, but everywhere is smoked, and all these smokes are actually going to allow them, or at least one of their players, to fall off into lower. But way too many CTs here. He's got to take some 1 versus 1s, but from that angle, difficult to do so. And Melty, the bomb plant didn't make it worth it, but they got it down anyways. It's going to be 3 rounds in a row for Piter, so I think Melty with this bomb plant is going to be able to buy just one more round, and they would have been able to. So Melty with the $4,000 mark. Not are they going to force? I'm just wondering here. They could. They really wanted to. Yeah, couple Tech 9s, buy light, and then be able to full buy the next round. And now Waterfalls has busted out the AWP as well. So he's going to be playing A. Interestingly, they don't favor that op-in mid-window room. But Melty going for the 4-1 split here.
Yeah, Main's going to be dropping into underpass, and who they're actually committing to. Oh, Rakonen's going to drop down, and he takes down 3 of them. Aggressive play and a pile of Tech 9s cutely placed on the floor near that bomb. So good start to the round for the CT side. They are able to trade back. Rakonen not getting away scot-free, but Spiker will end the round with the follow-up 2 frags. And now 4th round coming into play 4 in a row thus far for Piter. He lost pistol and then the 2 rounds thereafter, but Melty hasn't been able to... they've had some close situations, 2 bomb plants in the last 4 rounds, but that last round obviously eco territory. And the underpass, I like the B side play, but as soon as you drop into underpass, it really is that long range angle, especially if you have no one in mid to punish them dropping down into underpass like that. And oh, waterfall, what an angle! See him jump up right now under the railing. Some nice parkour moves coming in, and he's going to be holding now from catwalk. So moves aggressively out of the window and actually misses that shot. So unfortunately for him, can't make it work, but we'll see the T's prepping for another A-side take. They're going in dry, and this might catch the CTs off guard as they've got no audible. There's no call for this, and Rakonen goes down immediately. We're going to see if FaceCrack can make anything happen from CT spawn. He's got an edge in the smoke where he's put damage onto the Terminator, but he's going to be falling off. Oh, wow. There's going to be, oh, it was actually JM. I thought that was FaceCrack to take the frag, but 4v4 as retake scenario. They've got it planted for a ramp, so it's a beautiful post-plant setup. This should definitely be favored towards Melty, but taking it into this bomb site, we can see Spiker now left alone, and he's going to get dropped as, oh, actually his teammates get dropped. He's found 2 frags of his own. He's going to try and jump on the bomb here, drops a smoke, but he's going to get spammed down before he can even get on it, and that's going to be another round. Finally, Melty able to find success on that A-side take.
Yeah, it's too bad for, what's his name? Waterfalls, too, because that's the one round he didn't play at A with that AWP, and that's the one round Melty went there when he wasn't there. So, good, I guess you can't call it good premonition by Melty, but good take regardless, and good flank in the end. We saw Medeo come up big for them. I think he actually won them the round, too, because it was such a delayed flank. I think he fell back all the way from A, but over at the A bomb site this round, Piter with a good start. Oh, but traded quickly by Mistu. Waterfalls, if you're going to peek that, you got to peek it right away. Mistu had plenty of time to get in position. There's no way he misses that duel. And now Melty is making their way into the B bomb site. And FaceCrack is already very low as well. So this is going to be a difficult retake for Piter. And they might even want to think about saving at this point.
Yeah, FaceCrack's going to go down via the HE grenade. Rakonen actually has success on catwalk here, but gets dropped by Mistu in the AWP. So JM now in a difficult spot. Is going to hop through the Molotov and will save this weapon. But to start things off, I thought that that was working well for FaceCrack. He was able to get a frag in Palace, and it was actually a bit of an awkward one. He jumped in and with his knife out still, and he was able to take out his weapon in the time that he saw the opponent and still ended up getting a frag. So a little bit of stroke of luck as he survived with very little HP, but like you were saying there, Waterfalls peeking when I probably shouldn't have been. And that's pretty much the reason they're able to take the B bomb site. Once they can get past that choke point in the apartments, and like I said, in the other aspect in coming from market, you want to keep your opponent in choke points if at all possible, especially if there's multiple. So they're not able to do so. Melty now with their 5th round, and this is looking like a good T side for them as they're getting... They don't have a bank yet, but they're starting. And we actually see Rakonen get dropped down to 17 HP as he crosses a ramp, but there's an opera waiting for him to pick.
And already, Piter here forcing up. Waterfalls with that scout. Can't do any damage on the cross from thanks to just one single smoke. And the scout has limited windows in which you can do significant damage with it. And early in the round is a big one. And he missed that shot. Now, got to find somewhere else to use that scout. Okay, there it is. He does re-rotate back to connector and able to take out one. Ooh, he has a window for a second, though. There it is. Waterfalls with 2. In the meantime, what's Melty doing? They're not executing onto connector. They want to fall back to a ramp where Waterfalls is still going to be posted eventually with that scout. So they have one member, Mateo, going to come up from connector, and both of the remainder of Melty coming up from the stairs where Spiker is posted up above them. They don't know he's here, but he has heard both. The rotate's already on. Mateo might get shot in the back from JM here, but oh, it's not going to matter. Spiker gives them all a taste of the M4, and Piter bring it back 5-5 and survive with 3 weapons. Now Melty will be on the save.
Yeah, Melty on the save. We'll see if it's a Tech 9 force up kind of save or an actual save, as got a little bit to play with, and looks like Terminator's going to be grabbing a Tech 9. Video actually opting to utilize the CZ75. They haven't got armor, and they just have a couple smoke grenades, so looks like Mistu might be smoking off windows, so we might see a bit of maybe a cat split onto this B bomb site. No, he's actually just going to be maybe smoking it out purely for the sake of smoking it out, just to provide. Oh, he misses it, though, unfortunately for him. And now that is going to... Yeah, that kind of screws up this play a little bit, as we've got a number of players trying to come out through underpass, and oh, the CT smoke actually prevents it. So this plan of action completely destroyed by the CT, well, a missed smoke and then the CT smoke into underpass. So they're actually rotating out back towards mid and T spawn, and this is where things get a little bit worrisome for the T side, as the plan of action is kind of out the window, but you need to stay together as a team, and actually they do end up grouping up in mid, but Medio peeks before they're able to trade, and luckily enough, Lakonen's still peeking. He goes down, but that's the difficulty. You need to stay together, make sure if one player does get dropped, you've got another one lined up to find that frag thereafter. Maiden's going to get dropped via the AWP, but again, the refrag comes into play, so 2v3 as they probably aren't, yeah, they're probably not going to get the bomb planted, but at least 2 kills. Terminator can get anything else done. He's got 30 seconds in T-spawn, so it's probably unlikely, but if he can get anything more done, that would be great for them, as the 2 frags will at least keep the economy kind of even level on that CT side.
Yeah, just even it. Keep it somewhat stagnant with the monetary situation. Let's take a look at the money on Melty. They do have enough to buy. They're not going to have enough to get the op on Mistu. Or it's actually going to be Lambert who picks that up. And Mistu, he was having a big game last time, but now maybe he'll step it up on the CT side. He actually got his only 2 frags a couple of rounds ago, and that was with the AWP. Now rocking the rifle again. Yeah, he might be one of those players that's really on off, that sometimes he can win you the matches, sometimes he's somewhat of an anchor. But CT side was his big side. See if he can step it there, or step it up there again. But Melty, once again, this is their 2 smoke strat, where they only smoke the right side of the bomb site. So they try to isolate everybody towards the CT spawn. Here they come. But this time, Piter's playing 3 players in the area, which Melty is trying to isolate. And that's going to be devastating to the Melty side. Only Mistu up. Gets his 3rd frag of the half. Spamming away with the rifle. And now going to get converged upon by the remaining forces of Piter. So the Frenchmen going to go down. Their lead going to be extended for the Russians. 7-5. And are they going to... Yes, they're going to have plenty of money to recycle whatever they want. And Melty here, not the same on their side. Just looking at a bunch of 2000s. So Melty going to have 1, maybe 2 more gun rounds left.
Yeah, and already on 5, that's not bad, but certainly might want to get another, well, not might, they definitely want to get some more rounds in, as they've got 2 more before things end off, or rather 3 round 13, so 14th and 15th. Math is hard, but taking it to this B bomb site. Pop flash in, and we'll see if they can get this player on catwalk. They are able to, but Spiker at the same time, he was able to take down 3, and now the retake Waterfall and Rakonen quick on the rotate. They take them out 8-5. As again, they were able to get those 2 frags, but there is one point where no longer is the 2 frags going to be doing enough. They need to get some rounds in, and this is the case for Melty. They are going to buy up in this round. 14th about to go underway. Mistu will be able to have an AWP in his hands once again, but a Scar 20. We saw a lot of that yesterday in our North American match. It was pretty brutal, as they were able to just utilize that. I think it was Pauly on our NA match there that was able to just go nuts. But anyhow, nonetheless, 2 frags coming out for the CT side. Maiden gets dropped, but the trade's definitely in the favor of the T's, as they're just hanging on to mid control.
Yeah, it's weird how that happened. Waterfalls came out mid with the aggression, jumped down, got the opener, and then Piter continued to peek. That's something you don't want to do once you get the advantage, but Spiker, with that angle, with the auto sniper, good luck. That's a very difficult location to try to cross, but Piter at the A-bomb site still has 2 players up. They got Face Crack as well as JM. They're somewhat spread out. Melty debating if they want to go for the boost or not, and they are going to boost up in the very tricky spot to hold. JM might get shot in the back here if he's not careful, and this is what they're waiting for. The Terminator is just waiting to go out because he knows that this frag is going to happen. There it is, on to JM. Only 1 member of Piter up, and that's Face Crack gets mollied out, standing in the fire. He's conflagrated right now, and he finally gets taken down, but he takes out 2 people already. Now one-on-one. Spiker, Terminator. What? What?
No way.
Oh my god. Polar, please tell me you were on the eyes of Spiker. That was unbelievable. Jumps up, no scopes him. That was just silly. That was not a good way to approach that. That was he didn't even scope before he shoots. I don't even think he landed before he shoots. And that round was simply stolen away by the Russians.
I just words are difficult right now. I've never seen such a thing, and for that to be a no scope headshot as well.
I know.
My God,
his
that was
crosshair wasn't
ruthless.
even close.
That was absolutely nuts. The fact that he would even just try that shot is nuts
Yeah.
on its own.
That was just silly, because even if you don't hit the first shot you want, even if your opponent's slow, you jump up, scope, try to hit that first shot, then start spamming away. He just jumps and starts spamming.
Oh man, in this round going Piter's way, as well as they're probably scratching their head on Melty's side, being like, how is that even a thing? 10-5, they're gonna take their CT half, and what looked like Melty having a pretty good T half after even just a moment like that. Just insane amounts of momentum. Piter's gonna be feeling great, but oh jeez.
The other side of it, who was that on? Was it on Spiker or was it on Face Crack? I can't remember, but his screen that had to look so silly. Just like this game is crazy. That shouldn't have been
I don't
allowed.
know who the player was, because Face Crack was the one, he had a stand-up, and that's the funny part. He overshadowed Face Crack's play. We saw Face Crack get Molotov. He stays in it just long enough that they peek out and he gets that double kill and creates that one-on-one that we just witnessed. Just a crazy round overall. And then Spiker was the one with the auto sniper. I can't remember who he took out, as my mind just melted at that perfect time.
It doesn't even matter at this point. Whoever he killed,
God.
I feel bad for him. But
Yep.
do have some giveaways. We got our follower giveaway here on Azubu. If you haven't followed us yet here, there we go. Go ahead and make an account and do that. And we're also giving away a Flip Knife Fade thanks to Luminosity GG. There's a specific tweet. All you got to do is find that one, retweet that. Find us on Twitter at GoRGNTV, as well as Luminosity at LuminosityGG. And I'm sure we're going to be having more giveaways in the future. But back to the action here. Piter starting on the terrorist side now, going for the lower 2 connector. Thinking about boosting, don't even need to. Rakonen as well as Waterfall. Frag a piece, and now Melty left in a treacherous position to try to hold this A-bomb site, or try to recover it, I should say. It's already been lost. Lambert in the jungle in no man's land, while his teammates are actually taking the fight here in CT spawn. Everybody goes down. This might be a flawless round here for Piter, and indeed it is. Such a simple but well-executed strategy. Just running up the lower, taking control of connector. Melty can't find any long-range fights and lose the round accordingly.
Yeah, it worked out really, really well for the T side and Piter, and now this is bleak territory for Melty. It's their map choice, but losing pistol round, that was kind of what they were relying on. 5 rounds on the T side is only solid if you can start off well on your CT side, and that pistol round was not the way they wanted it to run. But now, forcing up in the second round, they've expended all of their money except for Mistu. He didn't get the memo, but everybody else on the CT side has spent everything in their pocket. 3 CZ75s on the field, and quite honestly, these weapons are still... CZ is still as effective as it was, especially in situations like this. It's just not as effective as a sidearm for the AWP because of the pullout time, but certainly still wreaks havoc in close-range territory. And the other weapon, obviously, being Lambert. And it's 5-7, finds a Galil, and actually looks like he's going to hand it off to the Terminator. So this is working out for Melty, but they need to continue to stay poised as rotating over towards this B-bomb site is the Terrace, and Maiden's going to have to come up with some huge frags as JM is going to be the first one to cross it. The question is, does JM check? And oh, it looks like he is going to check this situation, and he does. Loses his head as Maiden, and they already have a rotate coming in, but oh my goodness, the frags coming in. They've got Terminator with the Galil, but he's only able to receive 1 frag, and Lambert now in a retake spot, and he's going to go for it, looks like.
He might just do it. I mean, all he has is a 5-7. Not too big of a weapon to bring into the next round, but it would be something. Oh, there's the first one. Trades half his HP for it. First one's often the hardest, but face crack trades him out eventually. And Piter on to their 12th. Melty went for the force buy, and again, it doesn't work. We haven't seen many second round CT force buys work recently, but looking at Mistu's money, he should be able to go raw with the op next round. Just I can't believe this. It's fading me. What's it called that we call it nowadays? Just with op and nothing else. But
glass cannon.
Glass cannon. Yes. There it is. But here comes Piter into the B-bomb site. We got 2 here for Melty. Not really peeking, or Mateo is, but someone under the bridge, or he's on top of the balcony. As Terminator, he's taken out, and Melty, yeah, nothing happening this round for them. Would like to take a couple guns away from Piter, as everybody does have AKs. Very strong buy coming up from Piter, not trying to go for the economical game at all. And down goes Maiden. So, Piter, take the first 3 of this second half. And yeah, Mistu is just barely going to have enough to go for the glass cannon, and he's not going to do it. Actually, Lambert's going to be the one going for the glass cannon. I wonder if there's a little bit of confusion between the two, or because it seems like Mistu wants to opt because he saved like that, but I don't know. Lambert's the one who's going to do it.
And now Lambert is going to be playing in window room, but he's not going to receive any action, as it's going to be Terminator and Medio inside of the A-bomb site. They're going to have to fend off. They've got the bomb inside a palace. Nice crack with the bomb carrier and Rakonen. And they are going to be taken out with some flashes and such. And Terminator holding close on the ramp. He finds one, and Waterfalls, though, trades off. So a one-for-one trade as they're entering the bomb site, and Medio goes down as well. So now all on the CTs rotating in. Lambert inside a CT spawn with his AWP, but not the angle he wants to be holding as they smoke it off once again, and he gets spammed down. Doesn't even get allowed to have a shot coming off, and Maiden gets dropped. It's up to Mistu, and he's already on the save. He has turned tail and threw his Nikes on as he's already heading over to the B apartment. So saves his rifle, but this means that Peter's going to be up to 14 rounds. And that's bleak territory for the CT side in Melty, as they had a hell of a map in map number 1. Almost able to bring it to a second overtime, but Piter clearly being the more experienced on this. Well, maybe not even more experienced, but clearly just the better team at this moment in time. As, again, Mistu forced to save, bringing it into round 20, but only 2 rounds left, and Peter will be taking this in 2-0 fashion.
Yeah, and Melty's going to buy. I was going to say the only thing that they have going for them right now is their round loss bonus. That's going to give them their only chance to buy. So these last 2 rounds for Melty, if they can't take this, are going to be force buys, lacking a significant amount of nades and such that they want to defend Piter. And the Russians just going to be coming straight for the B-bomb site. They do have 2 up here for the French side. They're gone, just like that. Waterfalls and JM both eliminate them quickly without a single point of damage. Okay, they did do 4 damage, or 6 damage to JM. But, man, it's like they were not even playing the bomb site.
Yeah, I think Maiden went down. He got fully blinded from their pop flash, and he turns around trying to find the bench, and he's like staring at the wall and gets blindsided. And yeah, I don't know about the other player, but 6 damage. Not exactly what you want on the defense, but yeah, Terminator's going to get dropped.
Right?
I guess so, I guess. But almost, well, unless you think that 0 means that there's no one there and they just play retakes, it might actually be better because you don't lose a player, but depends how you're putting it, I suppose. But 15-5, Melty, could they form a comeback? It's a possibility, but a little bit unlikely at this point, as they've got 4 FAMAS and 1 single scout on Lambert. As now it's going to be another B-side take. They've got a single player, Waterfalls, with the P90 in mid. Not exactly close-range territory, but maybe where he's playing with it. JM coming out from apartments, and they're going to drop Maiden right from the get-go. He gets a single frag. Waterfall goes down in mid. It's going to be a 3v4, so man advantage with the bomb being set. They're going to have some decent post plants here, and Rakonen the only one with decent damage already done to himself.
Trying to retake 2 from Kitchen, 1 from the catwalk. Lambert still has that scout in his hand. They're trying to make their way up. Spiker can't connect. They got one member. JM tries to rush into the Kitchen. He can't do it either. But Rakonen from the catwalk flank. He's got to play the smoke. He's got to find the angle, and none of them are peeking him. Somebody's got to get on the bomb. Rakonen gets in and gets out. Now he's going to spam through the smoke. This is the match unless Terminator can get the defuse. And Rakonen falls back. No, Terminator pushes up in time, but the bomb's going to blow up. Piter is going to take it over the Frenchman. 16-5. Man, first game, a lot closer than the second.
That is an understatement. 16-5 as Melty. They are not able to pose much of a threat here on Mirage, and it was their map choice. But Cash was a closer one as we saw a lot of T rounds, but that's going to be it for our European matches, guys. I'm not 100% certain what time we're having our North American one at, but I do believe that is going to be up soon.